All right. Hello and welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Just so you know, this webinar is being recorded and you will all receive a copy. So don't stress if you have to run off to another meeting or something pops up. We will make sure to get this to you in the next couple of days. As we go through, just let you know you can put any questions that you have in the chat function. I do have my colleague Jenny next to me who will be assisting me in the background. So if you have any technical difficulties or questions just about what we're talking about today, she'll be happy to answer them. And if we have time at the end, we will also answer some questions. So for those of you joining us for the first time, my name is Alicia Lowe. I am the General Manager at Integro and also one of our facilitators for our other products that we offer. At Integro, we enable cultural transformation and have been for over 45 years. In order to do this, we focus on businesses' number one asset, their people. People are the core of every business. Businesses are based on relationships and relationships are based on people. If the pandemic has taught us in organizations anything, it is just how important our people and relationships are to the organization's sustainability and overall success. And it has really kicked off businesses being able to be more people-centric as part of their overall survival. In order for us to set up our organizations for success in now and in the future, we need to understand our people, and that starts by looking what the business environment looks like for them today. To start with, organizations in Australia have not just had to deal with COVID-19 in the past 18 months. To start with, organizations in Australia have not just had to deal with COVID-19 in the past 18 months. As most of us will remember that in late 2019 and early 2020, we also had catastrophic bushfires and horrific flooding, which destroyed thousands of homes and many businesses. All these changes have required organizations to adapt quickly to allow for different ways of working. In Australia alone, when the pandemic hit, we had a 200% increase in remote working in most states, with a lot of organizations never going back to the traditional way of working, which is your 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, ever again, and moving forward to a more hybrid model with a blend of being in an office and working remotely. That doesn't just mean at home, this means at cafes or anywhere in the world. The lack of face-to-face interaction has had a significant impact on organizational culture, communication, and teamwork, requiring organizations to really focus on their people and culture. This means that virtual is here to stay. This is in all aspects of business, whether it's understanding you no longer need to fly to Brisbane for one meeting and that it can just be done via Zoom, or it's even running a training program for 50 people across the organization in 5 different locations. We are even seeing it more and more in the hiring process. And according to LinkedIn's article, 2021 recruiting trends shaped by the pandemic, in the same way that a hybrid workforce of on-site and remote employees will become more normalized, a hiring process that combines virtual and in-person processes will become increasingly standard due to the associated cost and time savings. The third view on the business environment today from our research that I wanted to highlight is the amount of restructures that will be moving forward and the impact on our people that will have. According to Mercer's article, Win with Empathy, 66% of organizations across Australia are planning to restructure against the global average of 45% this financial year. So now what does that look like for our people and our teams? So most organizations are left to make most of the resources with budget freezes, cuts, and redundancies. And here in Australia, through my networks, even a bigger issue is finding skilled talent. The World Economic Forum estimates that 50% of employees will need to be reskilled by 2025. And according to LinkedIn's research, internal mobility is up 20% since the onset of COVID, showing that just how important the mobility of our people really is. For those organizations that are left needing to hire, let me throw this stat out at you. The average cost of a bad hire is 30% of an employee's first year salary. This can be even more if hiring sales, management, or even executive positions. This doesn't take into consideration the follow-up from the bad hire on the culture of your team even. Yet that same LinkedIn research states that 50% of their almost 2,000 respondents expect the recruiting budget to decrease this year, while 66% anticipate their learning and development budget to increase or stay the same. So again, left to do more with less. Let me put that all together for you. Businesses are having remote workforces with people working from home, relying on Zoom to communicate and to create a culture of teamwork, while also trying to figure out what positions are needed and where and if needing to hire, while also having smaller budgets to do all of this, let alone the pressure that's been put on recruitment as well as learning and development, or as I'll put this moving forward, people and culture, to control and handle the entire people strategy component. So where to even start when looking at setting up your business for success now and in the future? It comes down to starting to look at your people, making sure you have the right people in the right seats that can transition into the next seat on the bus to create success for your business now and in the future. Whether you're hiring from outside or moving people around within your organization, making the right selection decision is important. Matching people to positions they're likely to succeed in is what truly unlocks the ability of individuals, teams, and leaders to perform at their best and therefore drive organization results. PXT Select is a psychometric tool that measures job fit, business strategy, where does the organization need to go to achieve its goals, talent strategy, what roles are needed, who is the right fit for those roles, how can people be engaged and developed to full potential. Our solution helps organizations answer the who and the how by aligning people to roles based on their traits most important to perform those jobs successfully, and then nurturing them to their full potential. And when job fit is achieved, organization benefits by having high performance, low turnover, employee satisfaction, and higher engagement. PXT Select helps you drive business results by optimizing your talent selection and development process, engaging your workforce to drive results, reducing hiring bias, replicating top performers, decreasing the cost of bad hires, and developing high-performing individuals, teams, and leaders. When you match talent to opportunity and then equip and empower managers to coach and develop their employees, you're not just developing talent, you are creating a great organization. And before I continue, I just want to note that there are actually two solutions depending on the type of role you're engaging in. The customer service profile provides valuable information to identify and develop people with traits and skills to excel in customer service roles. It helps to minimize the cost of bad hires by measuring how well a person's customer service-oriented traits fit specific customer service roles. It can be used for selecting, onboarding, and managing customer-facing employees in a wide variety of industries. The PXT Select assessment is the assessment that we're going to spend more time on today, as it is the broader solution, as this customer service profile focuses more on the customer service roles, but please reach out if you have any questions or would like any information on the customer service profile. But both assessments tick the box of creating a great candidate to employee experience, objective, reliable, accurate data so you can hire, manage, and retain employees. The PXT Select is one assessment that provides you with 13 different reports and is adaptable to the organization or to the individual. PXT Select meets or exceeds all measures for assessment validity and reliability and helps an organization manage employees through the employee lifecycle and throughout the organization. As I do get excited and want to share everything, today I'm just going to focus on the most used report out of the 13 offered, and that is the Comprehensive Selection Report. What we mean by this is comprehensive is full person assessment that impacts an individual's approach to the workplace. Before getting into the report though, I want to make sure we are clear what we are measuring with the PXT assessment. The PXT Select assessment points out the job fit of either a candidate or employee and provides you with actionable data to determine if a person can do the job, how will they do the job, and if they will enjoy the job, as every human being is motivated and driven by different influences. And just a note, I will go back and forth using candidate or employee, depending on if you're looking to hire internal or external for a position. And by job fit, Job fit is the degree of congruence between an individual's characteristics, such as cognitive ability, behavioral traits, and motivational interests, and the requirements of the job they're asked to do. The higher the overall percentage job fit, the better the fit to the role. Job fit is really the missing link from traditional assessments. When it comes to fit, most companies think they can accomplish meaningful work by focusing on skill fit, such as education, training, experience, skills, and company fit, such as attitudes, values, appearance, and integrity. However, the reality is that in order for employees to truly find meaningful work, organizations need to measure job fit. When people fit the job, all those attributes such as autonomy, empowerment, working well in teams, have high probability of being accomplished. With job fit, data organizations have accurate and reliable information to predict future job success. PXT Select helps you understand someone's cognitive skills or thinking style, their behavioral traits, and motivational interests. There are 20 different variables that shed light into how people think and work and what interests them, and benchmarks them against the role requirements, known to us as a performance model. The data collected from the PXT Select assessment is used to create a personalized candidate profile that provides insights about all these 20 measures. This can be done for every person that is being considered for the role, so you can assess them objectively and with confidence to make smart talent decisions. According to Harvard Business Review, employees who are well matched or a good fit to their job are 2.5 times more productive. Thinking of succession and reskilling, so according to Harvard Business Review, employees who are well matched or a good fit to their job are 2.5 times more productive. Thinking of succession and reskilling or upskilling your teams, or just doing more with less, we can see just how important an employee fit for the role really is. Let's see how the comprehensive selection report can help us do just that. I'm going to use the sample of Oliver Chase to take you through this report. Oliver is being considered for a role as project manager. His overall fit is 79%. Let's see how the comprehensive selection report can help us do just that. I'm going to use the sample of Oliver Chase to take you through his report. Oliver is being considered for a role as project manager. His overall fit is 79%. Page 1 of the profile is an introduction page that lets you know what this comprehensive selection report is showing you. As well as the bottom of the page, you will see some information about distortion. When taking the assessment, some candidates may answer in a way that is socially desirable or that makes them look better rather than respond candidly. Page 1 of the profile is an introduction page that lets you know what this comprehensive selection report is showing you, as well as at the bottom of the page, you will see some information about distortion. When taking the assessment, some candidates may answer in a way that is socially desirable or that makes them look better, rather than respond candidly and risk disapproval. In other words, they may distort the responses. PXT Select flags instances when it's possible that a candidate may not have been completely candid in responding to the assessment. Although it's useful to know whether distortion was likely, it cannot be detected with absolute certainty. Therefore, a report of distortion should never be treated as absolutely certain. Instead, the possibility of distortion is flagged so that the manager can place extra emphasis on the interview or conversations with the employee to assess whether their experiences align with their assessment results. To assess Oliver, we need to understand what he brings to the table across these same 20 traits. This is page 2 of the profile. This is a critical report in the selection process to understand where people's skills and abilities land on the scale from 1 to 10 on cognitive ability, on a spectrum with 2 ends of equal value on the behavioral traits, and their top 3 motivational interests. For each section, there is a percent fit to tell you how well the candidate aligns against the performance model chosen. The performance model is created using information about what success looks like in the role. The overall fit percentage is derived from the fit calculations for the thinking style, behavioral traits, and interests. The relative weight of each section is 40% for thinking style, 40% for behavioral traits, and 20% for interests. The shaded area shows the positions range for each of the thinking style scales, and you can see where the candidate falls in relationship to the target. To examine this fit more, the shaded area here is what we call the performance model, or the acceptable range for a candidate to fall. The OCUC is the initials of Oliver Chase. So in this section, you can already see where Oliver Chase falls inside and outside of the performance model range. We then go into the behavioral traits and where he falls inside and outside of the performance model. Note, again, this is 2 ends of equal value. What that means is there's no better or worse position to fall. It's relative to the performance model, as the highlighted range is what the ideal candidate falls in. The last section here is a snapshot of the candidate's top motivational interests compared to the performance model. So you will see Oliver's top interests are technical, creative, and he's tied financial, admin, and enterprising. The next section of the profile digs deeper into the performance model. So to show you this, I've zoomed into the performance model slide. So you will see a description of the scale is provided. You will then see a guidance so you know what it means to fall at different points along the scale. And here you see a narrative description of the ideal candidate based on the range of the performance model for the verbal skill. Then lastly, you will see a statement stating if the candidate or employee fits the performance model or not. So you can see under verbal reasoning, Oliver fits the performance model, whereas verbal skill, he fell outside of the performance model range. So it says for Oliver, he may experience frustration when communicating with less verbally adept coworkers. Okay. Now let's see what this looks like for behavioral scale. Here on the screen, we're showing 4 out of the 9 behavioral scales available. Again, you will see the description below the scale. You will also get additional descriptors for the endpoints. And here you can see the candidate results fall within the range of this scale. The ideal candidate statement describes the candidate based on their fit to range for this scale, and the candidate fits the performance model for the behavioral trait. Okay. Lastly, we look at their interests. So following the cognitive and behavioral sections is the interest section, where you can view the top interests of the candidate or the employee. This section of the assessment asks for the candidate to rate their level of enjoyment of various activities, which can indicate how satisfied the candidate is likely to be in the role. When assessing someone for a role, interviews are also really important. That's why we've provided you with interview questions that help you dig deeper into what to listen for or what to ask candidates so you can make objective and well-informed selection decisions. These questions are based on the candidate's fit to the model. We use a complex algorithm to determine their key challenges areas, meaning where they were furthest outside the model, and provide questions related to the challenges this particular candidate may face in the position. We also highlight their strengths, where they best fit within the model, and again provide interview questions specific to the candidate and their fit. If you want to go further than their top strengths and challenges, we also provide questions on the other scales, again, specific to the candidate and how they may perform in the position. Okay. To help guide the interview process further, we've provided listen for tips. Again, these are generated via a complex algorithm that takes into account the person's scores and what it means against the performance model. So in Oliver Chase's example here on the screen, this is his decisiveness. He fell outside of the performance model. He was more deliberate than the performance model. So I have some interview questions to ask that then I am listening for his ability to make decisions more quickly when circumstances warrant it. So you can see how these questions then help me to listen for the answer to see how much he can stretch outside of his comfort zone. With our suite of reports, people and culture departments, as well as managers, can optimize the performance of their employees, whether that's someone new to a role or has been with the organization for some time. The reports assist with onboarding, coaching, and development specific to what the job requires. This image gives a snapshot of the different reports available and when can best be utilized in the employee's lifecycle. There are even sales versions of the comprehensive selection report, as well as coaching report that helps you match candidate to sales opportunities and accelerate the performance of sales professionals. PXT Select helps organizations do more with less by giving organizations a tool to assess their number one asset, their people, to ensure that they are in the right seat for not only job satisfaction for them, but for the overall success and longevity of the organization. And as we wrap up, there is just one question in the chat about how these profiles are administered. And these profiles are administered through an online portal called PAC, which stands for Profiles Assessment Center. For those that are familiar, it's the same type of process as EPIC, which administers our DISC profile, but they are two different platforms. And Jenny is our person that assists with this and how it works. So please reach out to us if you have more questions on how to administer the profile. And I don't see any other questions. So in wrapping up, what we'll do today is we will send you guys a recording of the webinar so you guys can go back and have a look at any sections that I may have gone too quickly through or that you just want to have another look at. We will also attach the Job Fit Journal white paper, which will take you into the importance of having job fit in the roles and what you're looking for in each candidate. And with that, I will let you guys get on with your day. If you have any questions, please contact Jenny or myself or anyone else at our Integra office. We'll be happy to help you.